My name is Marcus and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to open up this package that I received from Amazon. It contains two 660 LED lights from Neewer. It also includes the light stands, two soft boxes, two power supplies, and I believe barn doors according to the picture that I see on the Amazon website. Although on the Amazon website it does not show in the parts list barn doors necessarily, so we'll find out whether they're in here or not. So let's go ahead and take a look at the contents of this package. So these LED lights are, again, 660 LEDs per panel. There are two panels in here. Half the LEDs are amber, half the LEDs are white in color, so you can control the temperature. Also, it comes with a remote control, so you can control both of the LED panels together or separately in terms of dimness and brightness. Hopefully also in terms of color temperature from what I could tell from the website. So here we have our first item. We have the logo. It is a carrying case. Oh my God. Let's carry this by the center handle and lift it out of the box. So there we go. Unboxing, we're done. That was pretty quick. All right, so what do we do to get this thing open? Let's do zippers. I would imagine we need to undo this Velcro. That way we can get the top open and then unzip the carrying case. And here we have our contents. So what do we pull out first? Here we have the power supply, 100 to 240 volts. 1.6 amps maximum. Output is 12 volts, 5 amps, 60 watts. It does have the FCC mark on it. It has the CE mark. It has PSE for Japan mark. It has UL mark. It has a WE mark for recycling. And I'm not really sure about the other markings, what Intertech marking represents or the house represents. So power supply, item number one. And here we have the second power supply, again Neewer. So that's two power supplies. Go ahead and set those down on the table here in front of the package. We have two cables to connect the power supplies to the wall. They are the US plug. So two of those. And the remote control. Looks like there's some instructions in here as well. Let's go ahead and open up the remote control. Take a look at it. A lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. In the picture, everything always seems a lot larger than it is in real life when you get it. So here's our remote control. No battery. What kind of batteries are we going to take? It's going to take some AAA batteries. Two AAA batteries are required for this. Go ahead and set that down. Uh-oh. Make sure to get it on correctly. There we go. So remote control. Package contents. It says we have two LED video lights, a carrying case, two power adapters, two tripods, two barn doors, and two diffusers. So there's the answer to that question. It comes with barn doors, the remote control, and then two separate diffuser boxes and an instruction manual. So that is from Neewer, if that's how you pronounce it. We have some multi-language instructions and this user manual with some cute little pictures. We can use it for children's photography, wedding photography again, and then more creative applications for video shooting and photo taking. All right, so interesting instructions. Let's go back to the contents. So that is that area. So then we have little pouch areas here. Let's go for the first pouch. Ooh, this is mainly what we're looking for. So we need to untape this. Have some silica gel. Make sure that doesn't get near your pets or children. So here you go. Here's our light with barn doors. Take a look at that. Barn door, barn door, barn door. So there we can kind of focus our light. Mounts to our pad there. We have spots here for 2 batteries, 1, 2 that are not included. It says they are output DC 7.2 volts, battery 7.2 volts, model F750 and 970. Got our 2 dials, LED. We'll figure this out in a few minutes, but let's go ahead and close our barn doors and then set that down. So here we have our second panel. It's like Christmas. This is more stuff than I received on Christmas. So this is a bigger present. All right, let's take a little bit closer look at this. So it says name, LED video light, input DC 12 to 15 volt. And it has our markings for FCC and Industry Canada and CE Mark and RoHS, made in China. And the model listed on the back is NL 660-2.4G, the 2.4G to signify that it has a Wi-Fi remote control. So this is our second LED panel. And what do we got here in the middle? Another cardboard box. This says 19 light stand with SIM, made in China, so not sure what SIM means. All right, so here we have a light stand. Take a look at this. Hopefully this lasts longer than one I bought at my local photography store, which I used twice, and then one of the plastic hold down clamps broke and they don't sell replacements. So here we have a light stand. There's our first extension and then our next extension. Let me step back here. Hopefully we can get this whole thing in the photograph. So that's the maximum extension. Let's set this down, see how it compares to my height. It is taller than me. I am 5'9", so a little bit longer than 5'9". In its minimal height, we're getting down to slightly below my waist. So this would be minimum height right here. Although I imagine we could kind of vary it a little bit, get a little bit more height there, but it would be more tipsy or somewhere in there. So that is one light stand. And then underneath that one is another light stand. So nothing exciting here, we've just seen what it looks like. So another light stand, so that's our second item. In terms of light stands, let's go ahead and fold this one back up. All right, and then in the final area, we have Softbox. So that's kind of cool. It comes in its own little zipper bag. All we need to do is find the zipper, hiding underneath this little pouch carrying the strap. Ooh, look at that. So it kind of has springs. It reminds me of my drone launching pad where it spins and holds in place. So that would be facing towards the talent. Here we have some Velcro straps. Very interesting. Well, that doesn't seem to come apart, so that stays there. This comes apart. Something kind of seems weird about that. Is that Velcroed or not Velcroed? Am I supposed to tear that apart or not? No, that seems sewed underneath there, so that's kind of curious. I can't really tell if that was sewed underneath there by accident or on purpose. I'm going to imagine on this that you probably have to take these barn doors off, obviously, if you're using the Softbox, but just for the sake of a quick look at this, let's kind of see how this would go. Interesting. So I think you kind of put it there, do some Velcro. Well, we're probably gonna have to look at that without this fighting the box that's underneath or the carrying case. So let's go ahead and take a look at the second one and see if the one is defective or whether it's supposed to have that little area sewn in. So here we go. If I let this go, at about here, it's going to spring out. Let's take a look at this one to see if it's the same as the last one. That flap comes up. This flap comes up, this flap comes up, and this flap comes up. So that is a defect in the other one. These are supposed to fully open. On this one, somebody sewed it underneath the other piece, just slightly. I was able just to pull some force. You can see I just broke some of the threading there, so somebody had sewed it underneath that strap. So that's not how it's supposed to go. So that's it. So we have our pouch, we have a couple more pieces of silica gel, and then the case. Here are some images illustrating the steps for installing the softbox onto the LED panel. So your first one is going to take a while to get this thing put together. Took me a while. I kind of messed it up a little bit. But that's what it looks like. Now let's go ahead and take one of our light stands here. Put it down on the ground. Elevate it up. Then mount our light. So we do have a little plastic cap on the top there. Let's see if we can leave that in. Spin this loose. Spin it a little bit more loose. All right, there we go. So right now, I'm gonna say, at least on my carpeted floor, this seems like a little bit tipsy. The stand has like a lot of give in it. Make the base a little bit wider. Maybe I just had it, it's a little bit too narrow. Being a little bit wider is definitely better. I would caution about tightening these plastic hold downs too tightly. That's how I busted one that I had bought at a local lighting store after just a little bit of use. So let's go ahead and pull out one of our adapters and one of our power cords. Of a tight fit. It's kind of weird. When you put it in, the cable doesn't go all the way. There's like a little bit of a gap there, so you kind of think like you're not plugging it in far enough. When you pull it out, it comes out pretty easy. So I would think over time of that being plugged in and plugged out a lot, you're going to have issues. All right, the moment of truth. Power, electricity, power, power, power. There we have some energy. What's going to happen when we turn this puppy on? Ooh, lights. So now our top knob, let's take a look here. Our top knob is brightness. Go ahead and point you towards the camera. So this is top knob set to 10%. Seems to be in 10% increments, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and back down to 20. Our other knob, have to go around the corner here. Other knob is temperature. So here we turn it to the far left. It says 3200K. Let's see what our increments are. 3200, 33, 34. So you're in 100K increments, all the way up to 56K. That's the brightest. So let's take a look here. If we use that at me, I'm going to reach around, turn our knobs. So that is the highest Kelvin. Oops, I think I'm going the other way. That's cooler temperature. That is 5600. See here, lefty, righty. When you get to the top, does it stop? Yeah, so that's 5600. Skin tone in 5600. And that is the opposite. So that was, I believe, again, 3200. Yep. And let's take up our brightness. So 10%, 20%, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So that's the highest brightness, and let's change the temperature. So that is the far extreme of temperature. And then the opposite extreme of temperature. So now I am looking at this light. I can't see what I look like with this light on. But to me so far it does look pretty bright. I think this will work out for me. It does seem pretty tight. The light does seem pretty diffused. Having the sides in black, most of that light's going to be shining out the front where you want it. Stand doesn't seem too bad. If I shake it, the light has like a little bit of a jiggle, mainly because of the Softbox itself, kind of wobbling on the light a little bit. So let's take a look at this remote control. Again, Neewer, 2.4 gigahertz. Takes 2 AA batteries. We have 4 AA batteries in that package, so AA battery number 1, AA battery number 2. Put our door on, hit the button. All right, now let's see if this is like magic. Ooh, it is like magic because it worked right away. So there, set it to the highest setting. So every press up is again 100 increments. So let me go ahead and do this one more time. So right now default is channel 88, so I can control the color temperature. Going up, and I can control my brightness. So that is max brightness at 3200K. This is again max brightness as I ramp up to a higher Kelvin. So this is now at 5600K. So M looks like it's to change the channel. So you have channel 88, down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you have those channels 1 through 10 and channel number 88. So pretty basic. Now let's see if we hit the power button. So the power button turns off the remote, doesn't turn off the light. So I believe what we'll have to do here is hit the off button. So well, if you press and hold it, it'll just slowly go off. All right, so that would probably be your normal thing. You'd probably sit here in an off position right here. And then when you need the light on, go ahead and turn on your remote and then hit the up button to control the percentage. So I think that's going to work out really nicely, that if you have this in your office and this light is right up against your wall and you're just a couple feet away, it's not going to be convenient to fiddle with any of the settings on the back of the device. So to be able to use the remote control to turn the light off and then turn it on, and then to change the temperature is going to come in really handy. You can put both lights on the same remote control, so we'll probably have to take a look at that right now. So let's take our other light out. Let's start here with a light stand. And turn the knob here. Whoops. Ouch, watch your fingers, that hurts. Got a second stand on. This one will go ahead and do it without the barn door. Sorry, without the softbox. So you can get a sense of what it looks like without that on. Clamp it down, let's lower it down a little bit. Oops, I guess we're using this other one. Ugh. All right, and power, pull out another power pack. Pull out our other power cable. Again, the first time in there, it feels like really tight. Doesn't seem to really be directional. All right, let's go ahead and plug this into the wall. I haven't bought any batteries for this yet. I probably will buy batteries to do some outdoor shooting. For example, I'd like to get some pictures of cars at night and perhaps use these just to provide a little bit of light on the car itself. All right, so there we go. We have on, what's the right position? That is probably completely off. The center one's probably the standby. Spin this around. Open up our barn doors. Now here we have the diffuser on. Again, we can take that diffuser off. To get that diffuser off, you don't necessarily have to do the barn doors, it doesn't look like. You should be able to pull that out the side. I'll just leave that on for now. So let's see here, by default, is this remote going to control both? So by default, they're both on channel 88. So here we're bringing them up together. Now, that brings up the question of, what if you want them on a different channel? So this says channel 3 up on the top, which seems counterintuitive because on top it says channel 88, but let's go to channel 3. So channel 3, we're just using the mode button. And then our channel blinks. We hit down and then hit mode again. So is that going to control this light? Yes, so now we have this light is on channel 3. So we can control its brightness separately than the other light. And then we can hit our mode button again and switch to channel 88. So I think I've got this kind of figured out a little bit. So when you're on channel 88, it's basically sending it to both lights at the same time. So 88 is kind of your universal channel if you want to bring them up and down together or turn them both on and off together. Let's take a step over here. Take a look at this panel. This one says it's on channel 2. So if we just want to control that one separately, then we'll go to channel 2. Hit the mode button and then hit up for the color temperature, or up arrow for brightness. So you can control them separately via the mode button. So this one right now is defaulted on channel 2. This one's on channel 3. We can turn them on and off separately. Let's go ahead and hit the down arrow on channel 2. So we can turn that one off separately, then switch over to channel 3. Turn that one off, turn it back on. And if we want to control them both and synchronize them, we just need to go to channel 88. And then now they'll be synchronized together in terms of brightness and color temperature. So far I'm pretty impressed with this, but let's take a look at some real world scenarios. So I'm going to go ahead and let's turn them both off. Oops. All right, so let's use them in this video. We're going to use one with a harsh light, one with a softbox light, and light up me and see what happens. So move this one out of the shot. Put it over here, pointing towards me, and we'll place this one over near this other wall. Plug that one in. All right, so here we go. We have one light to my right, one light to the left. The light to the left has the softbox. The light to my right does not have the softbox. So that would be your left, your right. Let's go ahead and turn them both on. So here we have them both on. Right now we're at 5400 Kelvin, so bringing them up to their full brightness. So that is both lights at full brightness at 54, 55, and 56. So let's go through the color temperatures. Give me 1 second here. Alexa, entry off.
Okay.
Alexa, torch off.
Okay.
All right, so now we just have the lights. These two lights and one small LED panel in front of the camera that has been on this entire time. I'm going to go ahead and peel off this little plastic protector. That felt good. Like doing that. All right, so here we go. So we're going to start at 5600 Kelvin, 5500, 5400, 53, 5200, 5100, 5000. Again, these are all at 100% brightness. 4900, 4800, 4700. Now make sure to comment below what temperature you think I look the best at. 4600, 4500, 4400, 43, 42, 41, 4000, 3900, 3800, 3700, and 3600, 35, 34, 33, 32, and that's the end. So now here we're at 3200 at 100%, 90, 80%, 70%, 60%, 50%, 40%, 30%, 20%, 10%, 0%. I forgot to mention I do have one light overhead here, which is my dining room light. Alexa, dining off.
Okay.
And I do have a ceiling fan light on. Let's go ahead and shut off that ceiling fan light as well. That one we do not have controlled by Alexa. Never mind, Alexa. I apologize for setting off your Alexa devices at your house. All right, so now we do have just the one light on, which is this LED light. Let's go ahead and just turn on the light with the barn door. So I believe that was channel 2. Nope, that's the softbox. Down, go up. Channel 3. So we'll probably have to write down these channel numbers on the remote to keep them straight. So that is the light with the barn doors. I have the barn door set at a pretty wide angle. So that's 20%, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. So barn doors, 100% brightness. Let's go ahead and turn that one off. Compare it to the one with the softbox. So with the softbox, 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. And that's at 3300 Kelvin. I must have bumped the button. So that's 32, 33. So that's with the softbox on. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust the barn door one. So let's go ahead here and hit the mode button. And I'm going to bring it to channel 3. Oops. Let's go back to channel 2, turn that one off. And go back to channel 3. So that's with the barn door on. I'm going to go over and close the barn doors a little bit, make them more of a narrower focus, so they're almost really closed down, just to create a beam of light. So let's take a look here with the barn doors. So that is 30%, 40%, 50%, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Here's a close-up of the remote control. When I press the up arrow on the right-hand side, we increase intensity in increments of 10, from 10% to 100%. On the left, we can control the color temperature in increments of 100. When we press the M button, we can control the channel by moving the left up and down arrows. When we are done, we select M, and then now we have them both on channel 88. So they would both go up and down in brightness or on and off together by pressing the right button. And then go up and down in temperature by pressing the left up and down arrow buttons. Here we have the barn doors. In order to put the softbox on, you do need to remove the 4 knurled nuts and remove the barn doors from the light fixture. Here we can see on the back, we can control both the brightness and the color temperature. To get the light to point down, there are 2 different threaded holes in the sides. So if you go ahead and mount the light on the lower threaded hole, that will allow you to get extra clearance from the light stand to pivot the light in more of a downward position. Here we can see the height of the lights. The ceiling is 8 foot high. They almost touch the ceiling. I'm 5'9" in comparison to the lights that are above me. So that's my review of the Neewer 660 LED panels. Again, this is a 2-pack. It comes with light stands, barn doors, diffusers, power cables, and a carrying case, and a remote. The things that you would still need to purchase are AAA batteries, 2 of them, and for each light you would need 2 batteries for the back if you're wanting to take these remote where you don't have an AC power source. Let's say you're going out in the woods or doing a shoot in the middle of your lawn, either photo or video. You'd want to pick up a couple of those batteries. Those batteries, you can get 2 of them from Amazon for roughly $50 or less. I've even seen some that are off-brand ones that have a charger and 2 batteries for under $50. I'll put links to these lights in the description below, as well as the optional batteries that you could get for them. AAA batteries, you can just go to your local store and pick those up. If you found this video helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more of my videos, please check out my channel and consider subscribing. Thanks, and have a wonderful day. Better. Ah! Am I diffused? I'm going to use this to get an even suntan in the middle of summer. Just put this on my head. Light will come through here from the sun. It will diffuse it, and that will give me a nice even tan on my head, perhaps with less burning.